Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. I'm so glad you're here. What do we got going on? Well, we got the markets pulling back still, right? I mean, the bubbles are starting to pop. It started with Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin was up here at 126,000. Now it's dropped down to like 85,000. Now, maybe they can push it back up a little bit, but I think we've seen the top. I think we've seen the top in the NASDAQ. I think we've seen the top in the S&P. These markets are going to come down. Now, the only way they're going to make new highs is if we hyperinflate. And it is a possibility. I say it's a possibility because they may do the big print. They may print 10 trillion, 20 trillion, 30 trillion dollars and push everything back up. But if they don't do that, we've seen the tops, right? Seen the tops in the S&P, seen the top in the NASDAQ. And Bitcoin, we've seen the top. And Bitcoin, it's going to lead the market lower, right? I mean, along with Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor, he's got to be a little worried. His stock was above 500, dropped down to 180, right? And it's going to drop below 100. It's going to drop a lot lower. I mean, he's only lost 60% from the top. He's going to lose the full 100%. I mean, he's in a checkmate situation, right? I mean, his stock is selling below the cost of his Bitcoin. Why? Nobody believes he's got it, right? So this bubble's popping. The Bitcoin bubble is starting to pop. But I say the Bitcoin comes down to 60,000. Now, Michael Saylor, he's in at 75,000 for $50 billion. All right, when's he going to have to start to liquidate? But Mike, he's just going to sell some more stock. No, you don't get it. If his stock is selling below the Bitcoin NAV, he can't sell the stock. It'd be like going on the street and asking people, would you like to buy Bitcoin at twice the price Bitcoin is? Nobody will buy it, right? So he can't sell his stock, but yet he's still got to pay everybody the interest that he's borrowed all that money on. Some of that interest is as high as 16%, but he didn't mind paying 16% because Bitcoin's guaranteed to go up by 30% a year. Look at this year, Bitcoin's down. I mean, it's kind of sad calling itself digital gold. Gold's up 50, 60%. Silver 50, 60%. Even the stock market 15% plus, right? Bitcoin down for the year. I'm a little worried if I'm Michael Saylor, but you see, the thing is the Bitcoin's not going to go out until Michael Saylor has to liquidate, till he's forced to liquidate. He will be forced to liquidate because he's got to make those interest payments. He's got to get money from somewhere, and he's in a checkmate situation where he's not going to be able to sell his stock, so he's going to have to liquidate his Bitcoin. As he liquidates it, when Bitcoin drops down to 60,000, maybe not this time, maybe we come down here to 75,000, bounce back up to 100,000, but eventually Bitcoin's going to drop below 60,000. Michael Saylor's going to be dumping 50 billion on the market, and that's where Bitcoin gets below 20,000, maybe below 10,000. This is just my take, but I think it's a pretty good take myself. We'll see what happens, but everybody said, but Mike, gold's in a bubble. Really? You like Bitcoin at 100,000, but you don't like gold at 4,000. Now, I do agree. Gold is, close to a record high, right? I mean, it's hard to buy it up here. You got to pay $4,500 for a Buffalo or a Gold Eagle, right? And that's hard to pay, right? But it's going to go a lot higher. Maybe you wait till it gets to 10,000. Look, and I said way back before Donald was elected that gold will be at 6,000 when he leaves office. Silver will be at triple digits when he leaves office. Now, will gold and silver pull back with the stock market? You see, I think the stock market is going to follow Bitcoin down, right? I think the stock market's going to lose, well, like Bitcoin, over 30%. Stock market's going to lose over 30% just on the first run. Maybe it'll bounce up and then lose over 50%. I think we're going to come down to the April lows again. That's just my take. Your take may be that they're going to do the big print. Your take may be that Santa Claus is coming and we're going to get that Santa Claus rally, and that's perfectly fine. Now, be careful here. We got a short week, right? We got a short week, and this week they can manipulate the market up or down. It trades a little erratic because most of the traders are on vacation. And the ones that stay, they have fun with all the retail players, right? But there's a problem out there, right? We got all these bubbles. Now, bubbles are interesting. We got the Bitcoin bubble. We got the stock market bubble, which is really the AI bubble. AI bubble is bigger than it was back in the dot-com bubble because the numbers are so much bigger, so the bubble's bigger. So this AI bubble is already starting to pop. You see NVIDIA down over 10% just on the month, right? But that's going to bring the stock market down with it. So you got the Bitcoin bubble already popping, AI bubble already popping, real estate bubble, it's even already popping, but people don't know it yet. There's over 500,000 more sellers than we have buyers for the houses. What do you think's going to happen to the price? Eventually, forced sales are going to come. Eventually, people like Michael Saylor, maybe he has to sell his house when he loses all his Bitcoin money. I'm just kidding. He's going to be forced to sell his Bitcoin, but house people are going to be forced to sell their house. Right now, they're motivated sellers, but motivated sellers soon turn into desperate sellers, which soon create forced selling. So you're going to see that bubble starting to pop. Everything's going to start to pop, but it all revolves around the credit bubble, the debt market, the bond market. Watch the HYG. When that starts to free fall, run for the hills. Look, I told you if Bitcoin gets below 100,000, you want to run for the hills. It's just going to keep free falling. Right now, maybe they push it up, back up to 100,000. Maybe if you're lucky, I mean, that'll be your last exit point. But the Bitcoiners, man, they're solid, right? They're guaranteeing you 30% a year. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be sleeping too good if I was Michael Saylor. But who created all of these bubbles? Let's talk about that a little bit. We got more bubbles than we've ever had before. Everybody's blowing the bubbles up. I mean, it is scary stuff, right? Well, who creates them, right? Who creates all these bubbles? Well, it's the Federal Reserve, right? It's the Federal Reserve. Now, look, I know the government tells you that they're supposed to help the people. They're elected to help the people. They're elected to be public servants. They work for us. Does it work that way? No, it got reversed somewhere along the way. We work for the government. We work for the government. We work for the government. They're rich and getting richer, right? We live in this banana republic all of a sudden where the government people, they're the ones in there insider trading stocks. The Trump family's made more money on crypto now than they have in the real estate market. I mean, it's a banana republic. They're using the offices to get rich. So they do not really serve us. I mean, did any of you vote for, well, the right to lose 50% of your purchasing power? No, I didn't vote for that. You didn't vote for that. But that's exactly what happened. Just in the last 4 years, we lost about 30% of our purchasing power. Now, that's the Federal Reserve out there printing money, right? They're printing money. They're not protecting you. They're not protecting me, right? They're protecting the banking cartel. They cannot let the banks crash. They let the banks crash, they lose all their power and they have to go away. Now, what idiot gave the Federal Reserve the right to go out and print trillions and trillions of dollars? What idiot gave them that right? I don't think they should have that right. I think we should get rid of them. I think we should let the free market decide where interest rates are, decide how things are going to be. I think money should go back to honest and anonymous, which is God's money, gold and silver. But Mike, we got Bitcoin, we got cryptocurrency. You be careful about that Fugazi stuff. You can see what's happening to it. Down 30, 40%, right? I mean, these people, they're perma bulls, right? Perma bulls. Look at Tom Lee, a multi-billionaire, right? I mean, all these people are multi-billionaires. I don't know why they want to hurt the general public just so they can make some more billions. But I mean, Tom Lee, what's he pushing that company? Bitmine, right? Or whatever it is. BMNR, I think is the symbol, right? I mean, that thing's down 50, 60% just in the last month or two because Tom Lee says that it's going to go up to 100 just by the end of the year. Says Bitcoin's going to be at 250 by the end of this year. Isn't that crazy? He gets Kathy Woods in there to invest in his company. She's pumping it. He's pumping it. All it's doing is just going down because they're perma bulls, right? And that's paid off for the last 16 years. They think the government's got their back. They think the Fed's got their back. They think the Federal Reserve's going to go go in and buy Bitcoin, going to go in and buy Ethereum. I don't think so. I don't think so. Be careful of these permabulls. Don't listen to them. Listen to Tall Mike. Tall Mike doesn't know anything, though. I'm telling you, I do not know the future. What I know is what I like to invest in. That's real money, real things, gold, silver. Those are my two favorites right here. Throw in a little bit of platinum. Platinum's a bargain compared to gold. Platinum's hard to stack. I just play the ETF on that. PPLT, PLTM. That's what I play in the platinum market. But I like real things. Now, don't get me wrong. When the market comes in, gold and silver is probably going to have a pullback with it. I could easily see gold coming back to $3,500. I could see silver coming all the way down to $40. When the stock market's crashing 30, 40, 50%, you're going to get some pullback because they need the liquidity, right? And the liquidity, they'll sell anything that has a bid, and the only thing that's going to have a bid is real money, gold and silver. Bitcoin's not going to have a bid. Ethereum's not going to have a bid. MicroStrategy is going to be approaching zero really quick, and it might take Bitmine right along with it. But you got to be careful out there is what I'm saying, is these bubbles are the biggest in the history of the world. We'll just take the stock market, right? Stock market trading 220% more than the GDP, right? Normal about 100, cheap in the stock market below 100, right? But we're at 220%. Now, a lot of people say, well, the stock market can just go sideways while AI gets that GDP to go up, right? I mean, now, here's the thing about bubbles. They do not break like that. They don't go sideways, right? They don't wait for the GDP to catch up to it. No. Bubbles break violently, and this one's going to be no different. It's going to be a violent break of the stock market, of Bitcoin, of the housing market. They break violently. Housing market, right? Everybody knows that you got to get the incomes to double or house prices are going to drop by 50%. Now, people think that you can just go sideways until incomes double and catch up to the housing market. Doesn't work like that. Bubbles break violently. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember bubbles break violently. Be very careful out there. This is a problem we're facing. You got the Federal Reserve. They're going to do a big print. Maybe they hyperinflate us. They're the ones that started the fire. They're the ones that created the bubble. They come in now like they're the firemen that they got to put the fire out. No, get rid of them. Just make them go away. Finally, once and for all, make them go away. All right, I want to talk a little bit about retirement. I'm at the retirement age, right? I mean, but here's my thing. I was having a conversation with my buddy Eddie, and anyways, Eddie says, but Mike, I don't want to retire. I love what I do. He's an insurance guy. Personally, I wouldn't like to sell insurance, but he loves the concept, making more money. He's winning the contest. He's the top salesman, and he's a year older than me, so he's 67, right? He doesn't want to retire. I go, Eddie, why would you retire? He goes, because people tell me I'm old. You're not old, Eddie. There's no retirement. Look at the Bible. The Bible doesn't mention the word retirement one time. Doesn't mention it. If you like what you're doing, keep doing it. Keep working. Making money's fun. Doing these videos is fun. I enjoy selling houses because I get paid. Get paid a lot of money to do it. I'm not ready to retire. Yeah, I'm an old guy, but I like to work. Working's fun for me. That's my play. These videos are what I love to do. So this retirement talk is just ludicrous, right? I mean, the concept of retirement was used one time in the Bible, in the book of Numbers, if you want to go read it. But anyways, it was kind of used more as a punishment. As a punishment to people that wanted to work. They said, no, you can't work. It's punishing them. Look, you do not want to retire. Retirement wasn't part of God's plan. He put us on the earth to do stuff, to be productive. And that's why I love talking to you guys. I love making these videos. I love selling houses. And at my age, I'm 66 right now. I'm thinking about starting a new company. Isn't that crazy talk? I mean, that's just crazy talk for Tall Mike. But this talk about retirement, there's a guy named Tom Grogan, right? Tom Grogan, he started Wingstop. He was a co-founder of Wingstop. I guess they sell the chicken wings or something. Anyways, he got bought out for $532 million. $532 million. He thought he had it made. He's going to go sit on the beach with Billy Bob. Well, once he started sitting on the beach, he'd go play around down to golf every now and then. He was bored out of his mind. So he went back to work with $532 million. You see, it's not the amount of money. Anything over $1 million doesn't really buy that much more happiness. Look, if I was a billionaire, I'd still be doing these videos. If I was a billionaire, I'd still be playing beach volleyball 3 times a week like I do now. Now, I'm getting a little old for beach volleyball. People I compete against, they're not even half my age. They call me Grandpa out there. Why did Grandpa win me again? Because Grandpa's smarter than you. But anyways, this stuff of retirement. Look, at the first time I retired, I was 27 years old. 27 years old. That's awfully young to retire, but that's the first time I did it. I did it with video stores. I had 1 store, 2 stores, 3 stores, 4 stores. And what I did is I sold them to the head manager so that he could make it all the income he wanted, and all they had to do was pay me a fee. And they were like paying me $5,000 a store per month, which would be like $25,000 per store per month today. And Tall Mike went and laid on the beach. I went and traveled around the world a little bit. I was like the Billy Bob of my day back then. But you know what? It got real boring. Why? Because all my friends were working. All my friends were at their job. I didn't have people to go out and have fun with. Yeah, I had all the time I wanted. I had all the money I wanted. And I was lucky. I was lucky. You know what happened? God crashed the video business, right? Blockbuster went out. My stores went down. The managers handed me back the keys. They go, we're not making any money. You take all these stores back. So I went and ran them all again. It was fun, right? That was what I did in my 20s. But this talk about retirement, I just don't get it, right? I mean, I know I'm an old guy. Eddie's an old guy, but we're going to be working well into our 80s. Anyways, if you like this stuff, give me the thumbs up. Punch that subscribe button. Get out there, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.